Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, guys. You got your broskies here, the Dividend Diplomats, Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny. Today's video, I'm here to talk to you about the dividend stocks in my taxable stock portfolio that don't grow their dividend.
Smash that subscribe button, everyone. Give this video thumbs up. Look, we are all about reaching financial freedom. We're all about investing in dividend stocks that pay a dividend, dividend stocks that grow that dividend. We like that equation. We like seeing your income grow automatically. But in today's video, we're going to talk about 8 stocks that are missing out on that growth front.
Guys, 8 stocks in my taxable account, which again is in the mid 50s from a ticker symbol standpoint. So almost 20% of my portfolio by number of stocks, not by a percentage of market value, does not grow their dividend. And as a dividend growth investor, you need that dividend increase. You need that passive income stream to grow when you're heading into retirement and into retirement or financial freedom. Bottom line is you want your assets to continue to grow, not including drip.
That's right. So let's go through these companies here. Let's hear the positions, Landon. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about, some of the backstories on them and what you were thinking.
And Bert, we'll have to see, if you own it, and then we'll have to ask you guys again as we go through each one. Let us know if you own it, and let us know your reason why you still own it.
Yeah, let's kick this one off with a former top 5 foundation dividend stock for
Big
your
one on here, guys. It's a big hitter. We're talking about the Rethink Possible here with AT&T, ticker symbol T, guys. So there once was a lovely story. This was a dividend aristocrat, almost even a dividend king at one point in time. And then they sold off, DirecTV, a huge segment of business, as well as their media group to Time Warner Discover Media, or WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, which is already set to do another spinoff here in 2026. So the spinoffs are spinning off. And
they acquired Discover, merged with Discover, and then they're spinning off Discovery. Who could
have? This is the AT&T motto, actually. They're taking a page from their playbook. Yeah. So they reduced their dividend back after that spinoff, and they've been doing very well, though. AT&T stock has been one of the best performers in the last 52 weeks. Glad we're still a shareholder. Now, Bert, do you own AT&T stock?
I do. I'm still holding in because they do have a great wireless. They do have a great telephone, and that's their core business now. They got rid of all the distraction for the cable, and they're focused on there. And they've been paying down their debt aggressively. So the story for AT&T, the returning company, is still great.
Now, I own, quite a few shares. I own maybe somewhere to the tune of 340-ish shares, and own over almost 10 grand worth of AT&T stock. Yields 3.85%. I own it. I'm not selling it because I feel like they're in this turnaround still. They're cleaning up still. They've been performing very well from a price standpoint, and I could actually see a dividend coming in the near term.
Yes. The news is all great for AT&T. Their free cash flow is getting better too. They're paying down that debt. I agree. Dividend increase I could easily see popping up in the future.
But Bert, let's get into stock number 2, because this one's had us on a roller coaster, I feel like, in the last 5 years. Scotts Miracle-Gro. Ticker symbol is SMG, and Bert, you own it, right?
Unfortunately. I think this might be one of my least favorite stocks in my portfolio. I've thought about selling this one a million times, but I've never found the right timing or price to do it.
And during COVID, this was like a boom stock because everybody was doing all the DIY projects, and then they were also doing the cannabis stuff to try to help in that industry, which they've now, I think, almost fully have exited. Back to basics. Again, I was at Home Depot this morning here on August 17th, and I tell you what, saw a lot of empty pallets missing for some of the Scotts Miracle-Gro product. So very happy to see that. So
Yes.
now I own, gosh, somewhere to the tune of maybe 70 plus shares at about $4,500 of market value, 4.25%. Now, I might be a seller at some point here for Scott. I like reading their earnings releases to see what they're up to. They do yield again over 4%. So these stocks back to back definitely achieve over my 3% yield threshold I'm looking for. I'm still holding, but this one's not like AT&T. Like I could be a seller with some more price appreciation on Scott.
If you zoom out over the last 52 weeks in October and November 2024, they were hovering around $90 per share. And if you could get Scott's above 80 in that 90 range again, which there's obviously a lot of room to go, that's where I'm looking to sell, or just any kind of appreciation in a run on Scott's, I would go, but it's not a hold forever one.
And again, the yield's okay, and it's more so like what I think, Bert, you and I talked about this maybe a year ago, and I was like, yeah, I need like maybe another like year and a half or 2 years of like earnings just to see what they like. I gave like a very long outlook to see what they were going to do. I
Yeah,
remember.
because they are moving out of that marijuana business and they are trying to retool there. And there aren't that many players in their space. They do dominate the space that they are in, and they have that.
Oh my gosh. So we're going to get into that third stock, guys. We're going to probably go through these a little bit faster, knowing how much time is being taken from your time. So thank you. Citizens of Northern, ticker symbol CZNC. This is actually a small position. It's only $1,400 in my
Yeah.
portfolio, but it's one of those higher yielding, 5.86%. Somebody acquire them. What bank is going to acquire Citizens of Northern? It's been killing me. They yield very high, but they could be a seller on my list here at some point.
You
Bert,
know,
do
the
you?
minute you sell out, they're going to announce that they're getting acquired a few weeks later. That's just how it's going to happen. But yes, for some reason, they are the only, what, $2 to $3 billion community bank that will not sell right now. Um,
Yeah. So again, there is a potential merger target for Citizens in the banking industry, guys. So that's Citizens again. They yield the third. This is the third stock we're talking about, the highest one we've talked about. Still holding. The yield is solid, but again, I need something to move the proceeds
yeah.
into. I'm not about to lose income here, so just always keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah.
But what about the fourth one?
Norfolk Southern, ticker symbol NSC. We talked about the beauty of Citizens in Northern being being a merger target. Well, this one, Norfolk Southern, is publicly a merger target. They had that offer from Union Pacific (UMP), make a massive mega merger for a company. It's interesting is the price still hasn't been talked about where the offer was for them too. So
But if you take a look at Norfolk again, yeah, I'm not selling it because it's going to be a merger, so I need to see
yeah,
where the value's at. But they're up like 16% the
yeah.
last year. Ever since they've had the again Ohio incident, they've been roaring back. They were in like the 190s, 200. I wanted to buy a ton more. I know Bert and you and I have talked about that, but they're up $80 since then, which is huge. So not selling Norfolk until I know what the price is. And typically, what I've been doing is I'll have to see how they structure it. If it's a non taxable structure, I'll have to look at what UMP looks like and may keep that.
Number five, Dominion, ticker symbol D. So
Warren. So
just because Warren invests doesn't mean it's going to be a successful investment for you. And that is the
yeah.
story with Dominion Energy.
Yep. So that's Dominion, guys. Own over 4 grand. Another solid yield at
Yeah.
4.36%, but no dividend growth. They reduced their dividend after that asset sale to the to Berkshire, but they've had one increase since then, and then they haven't done one in the last couple of years. Again, not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. Again, just really need to buckle down on where I want to go because, on the other hand, First Energy, they they've been a frustrating stock to own because now they keep increasing their dividend every year. They're back to doing that. So, again, but I need to pick what energy I want to be in from a utility company standpoint.
Number six on this list, Leggett Platt, ticker symbol LEG, one of the most frustrating stocks, probably one of the worst stocks I've ever invested in. Former dividend king,
Former
bloated
king.
balance,
Once a
bloated.
king, sometimes you might be dethroned.
Yep. And they dethroned themselves. They became overly bloated, way too much debt. Sales fell through the roof. And then finally,
So fell to the floor.
yeah, they didn't just cut the dividend 1%, 2%. They cut it 89% to right size that dividend. The stock price has obviously fallen now from where it was in the 20s, 30s to now it's in the single digits. It's
Yeah.
trading
Yield
pretty good.
2%. This is a stock that like a again, it's almost like if it you need to get back in the 20s for me to even like be happy with the stock. It's definitely an exit target, probably one of the biggest exit targets for any sort of like get a meme movement here on Leggett and Platt, guys. Please, let's get Wall Street bets on this stock.
Go roaring kitty. Hope your
Yeah,
brother's out
come
here.
on. Yeah,
Number 7, new ticker. Paramount Skydance. Ticker symbol PSKY.
that's right. Paramount with the
Uh,
brand new digs.
yeah, they're getting that facelift. And then they themselves are going through some cost cutting. They're about to invest more into Paramount Plus, though. They announced that massive UFC deal. So no more pay-per-views, but they pay billions of dollars to take the rights to stream and show UFC, which will be an interest. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out, Landy, getting rid of the whole pay-per-view model for a lot of these sports.
And they were once at $15 a share last Wednesday of the 13th of August. They've retracted a bit from that, but so far since the spinoff or since the name change or whatever we want to call it, since the merger with Skydance, they're actually up 16.87%.
So do you have a price point in mind that you're looking for?
15 was kind of where it was at, because that was supposed to be like, I thought like the purchase price. I have to look back at it again. I'm
I think that
just like,
was the purchase price. It was right around there for the B shares.
so, again, it's got to be at least there. And then it's like, okay, if you're doing all these shake and bake deals and cutting costs, then, I have to look at what that percent accretive to earnings is supposed to be and maybe add a little bit more to that at the end of the day.
Love it. You said there were 8 stocks that we're covering, Lanny. So we're
All right, hey, stock guys, I know. Thanks for hanging with us here. All right, the next one, similar to Citizens and Northern, I brought this bank stock called Provident Financial, ticker symbol PFS. Surprisingly, I own a ton of shares of this because they once were increasing their dividend and they've come to an extreme halt. I own almost 300 shares. They do yield, again, similar to CZNC, they yield over 5%. So I've got 2 bank stocks yielding over 5%. Very interesting here to exit. Again, solid yields. Community banks are great, but these two are just not shaking and moving the way that they should have been or that I thought they would.
All right, so here are these 8 stocks that Lanny's following here.
It's a lot of cash.
Yeah, a lot of cash. AT&T, Scott's Miracle-Gro, Citizens and Northern, Norfolk Southern, Dominion, Leggett Platt, Paramount Skydance, and Provident Financial. What is the total market value in yield sitting here in these 8 duds?
Painful to say, but over at August 15th, over $40,000, guys, and yields about over $1,400 at a yield of 3.4%. The yield's fine. I'm not complaining about the yield overall here, but to have no growth to boot on that much dollars tied up is not cool. Again,
Not cool.
$1,400 increasing at 5% a year would have been great, but it's increasing at 0% right now. So again, we've got 41 plus grand of capital that is not seeing or experiencing the income grow from it. So let us know, guys, how many of the 8 did you have in your portfolio? Why do you hold it? What's your plan? Are you going to continue to hold them, or are you going to exit at a certain price point?
If you haven't already, everybody subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And Lanny, what do we need to tell all those diplomaniacs out there?
Well, you listen up, brothers. No, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bertha Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.